stern test as they match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. It's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. You think back to all the interceptions he threw last week. Here we go. First play of the game, another pick.
And you know that all week long, they spent time breaking down exactly why he threw the interceptions. Was it mechanics, bad reads, not enough study? Sometimes you just think about it way too much, and that leads you to the next one.
Time to refocus. The numbers for Zeke from last week. The hat trick +1, 4 trips to the end zone with his legs.
And, partner, you know how all the guys do when they do that little symbol now about eating, right? Keep feeding me, feeding me. They just kept feeding him and feeding him, and next thing you know, he kept getting in the end zone.
Prescott to throw it. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. And now out comes Houston. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said didn't lead to points, stalled off that.
Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the game there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Now Elliott. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. We were just talking about him pregame. 3 tackles for a loss. Last week you thought he looked so explosive on film. Starting off good there. Another one in the first quarter.
He's every bit of what you described. And I don't want to make it too simplistic, but right now for him, it's see ball, get ball. And that's what he's doing really, really well. And he's doing it in the offense's backfield.
And now out comes Houston. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit. Like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself the best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
And now here come the Cowboys. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden...
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
And as a defender, if you go with 2 interceptions in a game, that's pretty rare in the NFL. You might see one guy a weekend do that. But have 2 in the first quarter, that's something you don't see all that often. I have a feeling they'll think twice about throwing in his direction too often.
Watson now to throw. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. A little too much oomph. Too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Griffin. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
They'll run. It's Miller. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
4th and inches, does he get the first? You bet he does. He knows exactly where he needs to be, and he's going to fight his way forward to get a couple of yards and ensure he keeps the chains moving.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The numbers for Miller in last week's ball game: 23 carries, 107 yards, and the touchdown.
Are we playing old school football now? We've got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench and tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
Escaping the pressure, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Sean Lee able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And that is incomplete. Jeff Heath, the strong safety, able to get in there on the coverage.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And out now come the Cowboys. And last time, one-play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive and throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. And he is the NFC reigning offensive player of the week. You got to think, all the guys that take the field each and every week, that's not an easy award. Always has to feel good to grab.
It has to feel great because it separates you, at least for a week, amongst your peers. And for him to separate again, he has to have the same type of a game. That means being explosive off the line of scrimmage and catching everything that comes his way.
And here comes the Texans now. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Again, it's Miller. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Off of play action, it's Watson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Second down, Prescott, and it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Now Prescott. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he had a chance to think about turning it upfield. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And a look now at Lamar Miller. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage. And, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. They'll run it again with Miller. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And give him a gain of 37.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. On 1st down, it's Watson. Buying time to his left. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They go play action here on 1st down. Forced out to it, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Taco Charlton in there to get him for a loss of 5. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big...
Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. He's coming off an impressive Pro Bowl campaign in 2017.
You're talking about 14.5 sacks, tied for 2nd in the NFL. And now when offensive linemen hear the name DeMarcus Lawrence.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans will extend their lead.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times in offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Officially, no gain on the play, and it's second down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window. They've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2. The Cowboys on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Prescott on 3rd and 2. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Prescott now. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Prescott. And he comes back with one complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Offside, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Prescott yet again. He finds his target, Terrence Williams. And he's brought down. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages. In the first half. They start on the ground with Elliott. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often...
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Justin Reed. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected?
That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, with those first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
A very good move, but for a short gain out near the 32. Aaron Colvin there to make the tackle.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And he's got it to Hearns. And that little deke, the juke move that we saw, able to give him the first down yardage before he's brought down. Dak finding the former Jag Hearns for the Dallas first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. He's got his man. It's Williams. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Prescott on first down. Flush to his right. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Prescott now on 2nd down. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
He'll get it to the 23-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special runs in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when, and he told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
Now Prescott. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dak Prescott with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys cut into that lead. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him. So
that drive spans 13 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Gets past one man. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now out comes Houston. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offense's sails, because they had it going pretty good last time, too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, it doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
To throw on second is Watson. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 23 yards on the play. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Throw left side complete. That's Griffin. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. He's letting this one go for and it's intercepted at the goal line. Chidobe with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Carlos Watkins in there for the stop.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. On second down, Elliott. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. On third down, it's Prescott. And that's caught by Beasley. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A Dallas first down. Prescott hooking up with Beasley.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Prescott looks to throw on first. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 11 more on that one and another first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right, safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
A second down throw for Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Third and short yardage. Prescott. And Beasley with it over the middle. And that'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another first down on the pickup of 5 yards. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
He's got Thompson here, complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
This is Elliott, and he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
A 20th carry here for Elliott. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Here's Prescott. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
But there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, it still definitely hurts.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. In for the score. And the Cowboys have cut it to within a score. And, man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Well, I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to throw the flag. It was close, though. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop it behind the line. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Watson down to throw. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Now Miller, he's had a big workload here tonight. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The Texans on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Watson got his man complete over the middle. It's Griffin. Whistles now in a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Watson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. A first down carry down for Miller. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Here's a give to Miller. Miller with first down and more. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Great time there to come up with his longest run of the night. We just saw it.
Leads to a lot of satisfaction, because if they're able to hang on and win this game, you know what else will happen in the locker room after this?
What's that?
Head coach will step up and go, "Great job, guys." Because of that, come in a little bit later tomorrow.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of...
And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you got to feel good about your chances.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. That one in the books as a 12-play drive, and it was finished off by Deontay Foreman on the touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back, and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
Now Prescott. And he finds Beasley complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And they'll get up and spike it right at 40 seconds to go. The offense on third down tonight, 5 out of 9 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. Prescott to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. And the spike comes here, and that stops the clock at 25 seconds. Prescott. On the left side, he finds Beasley. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. And the spike comes with 9 seconds left to go. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Texans are going to win the football game. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. Throwing now, Watson. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting